All right, this one's about single mothers. Been waiting a while to do this one. I've got my verbal knuckle duster out as well. Now I'm just playing with you. Single mothers. There's a lot of single moms out there, and you know, I commend you, doing a great job. Keep up the good work. The only problem I have is when women say, oh, he started off nice, or he started off genuine, but he turned out to be a deadbeat. That does happen in rare cases, but most of the men are no good to begin with. But these women, they don't know how to identify these men from the beginning. Now, I'm going to do a video about what makes a good man, what makes a bad man, what makes a weak man. So just stay tuned for that. But some of these guys are easy to read. You know, the best rule of thumb, which I mentioned in one of my videos prior, was start picking men that you want your sons to grow up to be like. Or start picking men that if you had a daughter, you would want her to date someone like that. That's your rule of thumb you can use. Now, if you know a guy who is a liar, if you're with a guy right now and he is a liar and he's no good, get rid of him, because you will end up being a single mum. Or he's just going to be around doing nothing. Either way, you're a single mum anyway. Right? So that's what I'm going to say on that topic. Now, there are some guys out there who use women who are a single mum as a shaming tactic. They basically disrespect single mums by saying, I wouldn't want to get with a woman like that, they're no good. Well, hold on a minute. Some single mums are good. It's unfortunate that they had to become a single mum to wisen up, to get to the next level. But we all sometimes have to go through bad processes to become wise. Some people need to go to prison. Some people need to get out of a gang. Some people need to become single parents. Some people need to be fired from work to wisen up. It's just unfortunate that obviously that process is going to last for 18 years because they have a child, obviously. You know, you can't just turn over a new leaf like if you've been to prison, or you've been in the gang, or you've been fired from work or anything like that. But some men use women who are single mothers as a shaming tactic to say, oh, I'm better than that. I don't want no woman. I would never take on a woman with baggage. I would never take on a woman that has a child. No, I'm too good. You know, a lot of those guys that say that are single men that can't find women. Because if you know a guy who is happily married or is in a relationship and he's content, he's not dissing no single women. Only men that can't find women use that as a shaming tactic. They use it to disrespect women. And they're wrong. They try and use it to big themselves up, to make themselves feel good because they haven't found no one. So they think, oh, there's no decent women out there because the ones I come across have children. No, there are decent women out there, and there are decent single moms out there as well. Now, there are some guys, and I don't like when I see this or hear this, right? They will move in with a woman, but they don't want to assume the role as a stepfather or something like that. Listen, if you're just dating a woman but you don't live with her, then you can just play the dating game and she can have her child exclusive from your relationship. Fine. But don't you dare move in with a woman and try set up base but not assume the role as a stepfather. Listen, if you move in with a woman, you are taking on the role and you are assuming the role of a stepfather by default, whether or not you like it. Because that child is going to see you as a father figure, especially if the child's really young as well. If the child's like 2 or 3, definitely. If the child is like 10 years old, then the child could just see that as my mum's partner, my mum's boyfriend. Do not, because there are men out there who, they just see themselves as that boyfriend, but not the stepfather, and they live there, and you're wrong. Because there's some men who just take up with women just for a roof over their head. Trust me, there are waste men out there who they just get with a woman because they need a roof over their head. Trust me, there are many people out there, and I'm sure if I think about it, I can find 1 or 2 people in my mind. Listen, if you're moving with a woman, you take on the responsibility as a stepfather, whether you like it or not. Now, the problem I have with, if I was to be with a single mum, it's not them, it's the father. Because I'm a dominant person, and I like to run I like things, you know, under my control. Now, I'm not allowing no man to come into my house and think he could talk and do all this, because if he's the father of this child, right, he will be allowed to come into the house, because there's no way, God forbid, I don't even believe in God, but God forbid, I was with a woman and we broke up and we went our separate ways, and my child was with another man, living in another man's house or what have you. That man could not say to me, you cannot come in this house, because I know someone who has been spoken to like that. I know someone who has said to someone else, you're not coming in this house, although their child lives in their house. If anyone ever said that to me, I will box you in your face. That's a violation. There's no way. So I wouldn't want a man to be able to feel he can just walk in my house at any time because his child lives there. That's one of like the major problems I have with like being like a stepfather or a single mum. It's not taking on the child. I don't mind taking on the child. Now, if you meet a girl who you can see potential in her, but you can't take on that child, don't even waste your time. Because if I look at a girl and I see that she's a decent person, but I can't look at that child and think I can't take on that child, I'm not wasting my time. But recently I have met someone who they're a decent person, that I think they're a decent person, and I've looked at that child and I thought to myself, I could love that child. I could take that child on as my own, because I'm not really too bothered about the biological stuff. You know, I would adopt a child. Like, even if I have a family, I wouldn't mind adopting a child of a different race. I don't mind. I think being a father and a parent is more than just DNA. Although I'm a science head, you know, I love science, but I think it's more than just DNA and biology. So I can take on a child who is not mine and still love them the same, I believe. I'm not in that position now, but you know, if it does happen, I'll make an update video if my feelings and my thoughts change, right? So I've seen someone and, you know, I've looked at that child and thought, if I was to get with that girl, I could love that child. Because that is what when you take on that girl, you are assuming the role of a stepfather, whether or not you like it or not. You cannot love a woman without loving the child. You cannot take on the cow if you cannot love the calf. If you like the video, subscribe. If you don't like the video, change your station.